Hi, today we are going to be talking about the religions of this world and why Christianity is the one religion that is above all of the other religions. And so first off, basically, when you think of the other religions, the first thing that comes to mind is worshiping a god, which most of them do. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the most popular religions, which would include like Hinduism, Buddhism, and stuff like that, Scientology. And most of those religions, of course, have God, but then there's some religions that just believe that there is, again, no God, like Scientology. And it just, like, there has to be a creator, because the chances of this earth being an accident is, like, it's, like, so little, you can't even comprehend how little the chances are. And then the chances of Christianity being true the chances of it are so big you can't comprehend either. And I'm going to be talking about why it's that, how big it is and why it's that big. First things first, we are going to be covering, the religion we cover is Hinduism, Buddhism, Scientology, atheism, Islam, Catholicism, Judaism, and Jehovah's Witnesses. These religions all believe in different things, but some of them are pretty similar to Christianity, but then they put like their own version of Christianity and make it the way they would want it to be. So first off, we have Hinduism. It actually originates from multiple religions, so it's like a branch off of multiple religions. And but the idea itself was based off ancient carvings of bulls and cows. And then they believe that these cows were once gods or deities and reincarnated into or died and were reborn into cows, which is just a theory, and it doesn't really have any strong proof to back it up. And then there's Scientology. Scientology is actually based off a science fiction book, and the words in it are fiction. They believed in a book that was genred as a science fiction book, and it wasn't even supposed to be a religion, but they still believe in it today. And they believe in a bunch of things like that you have an inner alien and you need to let it out or whatever to have inner peace. And I can go into depth with that religion, but I don't have time today. And then there's atheism, which is just based off a theory of how old the earth is, and because of that and then they originate everything like the stone and stuff, and the chances of what they believe, because they believe that there was a big collision in space and it perfectly made our earth and perfectly in the right position, and somehow life was created. So it's really it doesn't have any real proof to back it up. And then there's Islam, which is actually originated from the Bible, but then they take bits and pieces of it, making it their own religion. There's Catholicism, which is based off the Bible plus 5 books. Then there's Judaism, which is based off the Old Testament. And then there's Jehovah's Witnesses with their own completely different version of the Bible. And all these religions either are completely different and just don't have good reasoning, or they're versions of the Bible, but they make it their own religion. After looking at all these religions, we have to look at Christianity, which has the most proof, and the chances of it not being untrue is insanely unlikely. So first off, Jesus is a historical figure who you cannot deny. This means that there have been many documents stating that they've seen Jesus die and stuff like that, and you cannot deny figure because there are historical documents about it, and you can go in your history books and find that Jesus is in there. And then you cannot deny that he rose from the dead, because there are many recorded witnesses of Jesus rising from the dead. But then again, you can say, hey, look, people could have seen things or whatever. But then this final thing puts it all up to shame. And it says, there are documents with no religious background stating that the apostles died gruesome deaths, and it shows in the Bible that they were not willing to do that until after Jesus died. And then this shows, like, because you can look back at Peter, when before Jesus died on the cross and he rose again, Peter denied him 3 times. And it wasn't until he met Jesus that he was willing to give up his life for him. After his death, of course. And then, besides all of this, there's one last piece of evidence, which is that all the predictions in the Bible, almost, like, there are thousands of predictions in the Bible, and the chances of all of them happening are very unlikely, and not all of them have happened, but none of them have been disproven. In all the religions that have happened, the chances of all the prophecies, all the chances of all the prophecies that have come true, is like it's thousands of zeros, like 0.000 on and on until it's that small of a percentage, and more than like about half of the prophecies have come true, and most of the prophecies are going to come true once it comes to the end of time and the end of the world. And that's why we believe this religion.